Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Doc and Lefty Show. Lefty, as always, is off slacking around. He had to go vote early and often for his Democratic favorites because you know how those guys roll. Anyway, we want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight because we have a super exciting show. This is our most important interview ever. And I will tell you why. Not only do we have a good, staunch conservative who's smart, good-looking, and stylishly dressed, he is also national co-chairman of Donald Trump's campaign and his chief policy advisor. Not chief whatever else advisor, chief policy advisor. This guy is smart. I seldom ever admit that anybody is smarter than I am. This guy is way smarter than me. Now, if Lefty was here, we'd say, well, Lefty is smart too, because, if you get that ugly stepchild or whatever, you always have to say, oh, you're good looking too. But he's not here, so we say whatever we want. Anyway, without any further discussion, I want to introduce to my audience Sam Clovis. How have you been, Sam?
Doing great, Doc. Thanks for having me on tonight.
That is fantastic. So explain to me how you became Donald Trump's chief national co-chair.
Well, I'd met Mr. Trump back in 2014 at a fundraiser. It was back when I was running for the state treasurer, and had the opportunity to meet him. We hit it off, and then again in the spring of 2015, I had a chance to spend a couple of days with him at various events, and we had some one-on-one time. Had a chance to get to know each other a little bit, and I think that he really more or less took a shine to me, or he really liked what he heard. And I think the people he had around him knew of my reputation here in the state. And I think when he decided to run for president, he had come and asked me if I would join him. And I said I'd already promised Rick Perry. And he said, well, if that goes south, then you'll always have a spot with me. And I was sitting at home after the Perry campaign decided to suspend operations, and I actually heard from about 12 of the campaigns that were still going on. People wanted me to come work for them, so
you're a popular guy.
Well, I don't know about that, but I do know this, that when I got the phone call and it was a New York number, and I picked it up and it was one Donald Trump on the other end, called me personally and asked me, and he said, you're not going to tell me no again, are you? And I said, no, I would never dare. And so I decided to sign on with him. And it started out as originally, it was just, the senior policy advisor. But as we brought more people on, I've become the chief policy advisor. And I do most of the outreach. I work with a lot of organizations. I speak for the campaign in a lot of places. And the opportunity has come up where I get the opportunity to go to China at the end of July, and as a representative of the campaign. And so it's really been a phenomenal, exciting thing. We have good days and bad days, as most campaigns do. And I think for the most part, my wife asks me all the time, she says, are you having fun? And I said, I'm not quite ready to use the F word yet, but it's been one of the most exciting things I've ever been involved in, one of the most interesting things I've ever been on. I never dreamed in a million years that I would ever be in the middle of something where my candidate is the presumptive nominee of the Republican Party for president.
Well, I will tell you, speaking of the F word, Lefty is showing up.
Good to see you. Good to see you, young man.
What are you talking about?
Good to see you.
We're talking about Trump.
I was so on time. You don't even know. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. You'll love this. I was so on time. I was the most on time co-host this show has ever seen. It was beautiful. It was so huge how on time I was.
Yes, it was. See, I think what the problem is you haven't been outside enough, and you just kind of blended into the background. Nobody could see you. You're so clear. Anyway, rats. Now I forgot my question. I know. Lefty and I have said a couple of times on this show, there is no way in heck that Donald Trump would ever make it. We said, it's flash and pan. He's having fun. And I'm going to tell you, we've already admitted that we were wrong. Sam, did you ever, until Rick Perry dropped out, at the beginning, did you think that Trump had a...
Oh, yes. In fact, I was on I was on with Jan and Simon and Mac, and in fact, I may have even been on with you guys at one point, and because people were asking me, I said, do you think this is serious? And I think it's dead serious. And because one, he has the money, and I think that I saw who he was surrounding himself with, and I think that was really the big key for me. And I said, he's serious, because he wouldn't hire these people if he wasn't serious about at least coming to Iowa and seeing where. And there are moments. You go on each campaign, you have the opportunity, you see moments where you say, okay, we're in this run, and you get your nose up against the glass, and you're going real fast, and you really don't think about where you are, and then all of a sudden you rise in the top of the polls, and then all of a sudden you come in second in Iowa, win New Hampshire, win South Carolina, win Nevada. Then we pretty much knew that we were onto something, and you work so hard. These are a lot of long days, a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. We don't have a very big team. Somebody asked me the other day, I said, well, you only have 75 people on payroll, and Hillary's got 750. And I said, well, I just want to make sure we got this straight. With 75 people, we secured the nomination of the Republican Party. She has 750, and she's still duking it out. Okay, so... I don't think numbers are the measure of merit. So.
Blake, you took a swipe at your beloved Hillary.
I did not. I did not.
This guy would dress up in a tutu and dance around somebody if he was getting near her.
I did not.
After her devastating foreign policy speech, somebody had to.
So you thought Trump had a shot when nobody else did.
Right.
Nobody. Anybody ever comes out and says, "Oh, I thought Trump had a shot." If you were in our business or in politics, nobody thought he had a shot.
No.
But you said he was putting together a heck of a team, and one of the things that my people in my family have said, that Dave Funk, I always have to throw this out, you measure a man by who he has surrounded himself with, and that's what you looked at. So who, besides Donald Trump, who else influenced you to get onto the Trump train?
I think there's no mystery, that Chuck Laudner was his state director here. Chuck and I are very close and dear friends. We talk to each other at least once a week, and have all the way through this. Because I think it's a sanity check for us to be able to talk to each other. You got to have that, because there's some craziness that goes on out here. But Chuck was a strong influence on me, and I think he also was an influence for Mr. Trump, and he said, hey, if you got to get somebody, one guy in Iowa, the guy that gets Clovis, and I'm blessed for that. But I think I've earned my way. It's been a remarkable experience.
All right. Now, have you ridden on the big the Trump bus?
Yes, I have. The first time, you guys got time for stories?
I got a million. All the time in the world.
I got a million of them.
Let's take a break early. We'll come back. All kinds of Trump stories, because I'm really excited. Sam Clovis is on here. I got to run through, say hi to my godchildren, Adam, Olivia, Cedric, Cecilia, Katya, Dasha, and I'm short too. Sorry, I'll remember it after the break. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. We want to thank our sponsors, Des Moines Anesthesia at 515-574-6442, Halo Capital, Des Moines Interest Rates, Lubinas Law Firm, Bertrosian Associates. We want to thank our special guest, Sam Clovis, for being on. We'll be back with him right after this break. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Without you, we